What an interesting battle between Xavi and Imanol. It was basically around Jules Kounde. Xavi wanted to free up Jules Kounde so they can link up with Lamine Yamal. And Sociedad tried to block that because they knew that if they stopped Kounde, then Lamine wouldn't have a great game. And then both of Barcelona's wings would pretty much be dead. And Xavi did a good game. So we're going to look at all of the tactics, how they try to stop each other, and how they play chess. As always, do subscribe to the channel, but let's get right into the video. Like we've seen for a few games now, Barcelona had their early back three as always, and Real Sociedad, even though 4-4-2 on paper, was actually 5-4-1, so that they can go up and press Barcelona's double pivot while at the same time pressing the wide centre-backs, which was key, and they would also try to get Barcelona on one side of the pitch in order to press them even better. The battle to free up Jules Kounde started very early for Imanol and Xavi because Xavi had Ter Stegen go up as a second centre-back next to Kubarsi to outnumber their front player, and Christensen went high into the half space in order to have Oyarzabal in two minds. Either leave Christensen open to receive or press Christensen and then Jules Kounde would be open to receive. But Xavi felt like he didn't need Ter Stegen in a back three, it's too dangerous, and therefore Kounde could still draw Oyarzabal out with Christensen high in the half space, where he would either leave Christensen open or Jules Kounde open, and then Lamine would receive the ball up high. However, Imanol just committed in pressing with his striker up front and therefore had Oyarzabal going over to Jules Kounde. One of his pivots then sat on Christensen in the half space because he was banking on his back five to follow Gundogan if he was left open, and they could just shift to a back four. But Xavi hit back with a very wide centre-back in the build-up phase because Xavi knew that this striker couldn't cover the ground, and therefore they would many at times also draw Oyarzabal into a press. And he didn't do a good job of blocking the passing lane to Jules Kounde, and there Kounde was freed up yet again. With a normal back four, Barcelona outnumbered the striker. However, Brais Mendes did join his striker up high in order to put pressure on Barcelona's centre-backs. However, Barcelona could still circulate the ball, especially with Oyarzabal not being able to press Jules Kounde. So the ball circulation could go around, and Barcelona actually had control over the game at this point. However, later on we did see that Barca did shift to their normal back three. It wasn't necessary to have a back four so they could outnumber once again Real Sociedad's front two. However, the problem now was for Sociedad, Kounde could also be open yet again, and that would again draw Oyarzabal into a press onto Kounde, and that would just leave up Christensen, where they could many a times just find Gundogan in the pocket of space, higher up in the half space. So this is 3D chess from Xavi right here, and if you think he still doesn't have tactics, I don't know. It was encouraging to see Barcelona having their normal back to centre backs, allowing Jules Kounde to go up higher. And we did see the normal 4-3-3 with Pedri and Christensen making turns to go up high into the half space. As many times we could see the 3-1-3-3 situation going on for Barcelona. However, the overload isolate tactic didn't work too well for Barcelona, and they also did it to the left-hand side, which I don't understand, which is kind of confusing because they had a back five. So Cancelo was covered and everybody running in behind was also covered because they could simply go man-to-man against FC Barcelona. So this was kind of confusing from Xavi. In the second half, Imanol did come out guns blazing with a 4-1-4-1 situation with everybody in the next line receiving the ball. However, Gundogan could easily alter the space of the pivot and therefore the ball could straightly go into Robert Lewandowski, where he could either play Rafinha in behind because he did come central in order to receive the ball and feed off Lewandowski, or Gundogan could move that pivot away from Lewandowski and play the ball into Lamine Yamal. And therefore, Barcelona still got a way to get the ball to Lamine. And this is why it's important that we get a left winger. We did see that Kounde go up high into the space in order to get Gundogan to come deeper, in order to also even up the numbers higher up the pitch. At this point, if you still think that Xavi doesn't have tactics, I don't think you understand football then, because this is testament that this man does have tactics. Obviously, he needs a left winger and a bona fide single defensive midfielder, which is Zubimendi from Sociedad, or we can even do Joshua Kimmich. Xavi do have tactics. Xavi do have tactics, and it's individual errors that basically derailed our whole season. If people still say online Xavi doesn't have tactics, take a second and just give them a link to one of my videos. As always, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. It's going to help us a lot, and we're going to do more videos on this game. Thank you very much for watching.